Behind the Fog, Part 2. Like I said previously, let the story develop. I have started to put some ground rules in place. No texting constantly while we are doing things together. Also no text arguing. Both good and bad communication need to be done in person. Cut the drinking out, as well as the out all the time out all night behavior. Sometimes we will need to do or say things for each other deliberately that foster real togetherness, growth, and support. And that sometimes we may not want to do these things at the time, that they are necessary to rebuild our bond. I also said that we both need to be comfortable talking about how we feel about each other early and often so that we both will have a chance to work together and be willing to compromise if needed to resolve it. I also reinforced my position on defending my territory and crossing the friend line. I told her that I've never had a problem with her having a friend that is a guy, but that if I sense that one or the other us blurring that friend line, I will step in and enforce my territory again just like I did with Eric. She understands this and says that she doesn't want that to happen again. I said it better not or she will be held accountable. At this point the vibe is that I have taken a stand, given an ultimatum. And she has decided to apologize, accept it and stay to show me that she wants this through words and actions. It's almost as if Amanda has grounded herself from the world she has lived in over the last month and wants to work to not go to that place again. Came to an after party. We ended up staying there until 3 a.m. While there I could tell that she was looking for Eric. It was obvious. Once she found him, she did everything she could to be near him. When I called her on it, she got defensive saying duck you. She kicked, kneed, and punched me multiple times, hard. It wasn't playful. It took a long time to convince Amanda to leave. She was hell-bent on staying. It took trip other girls to convince her. Went to Amanda's doctor appointment with her. There I asked about if it's possible to be too high, possibly manic. Doctor said he doesn't see that. Asked if there are negative interactions with alcohol and her meds. He said that since alcohol is a depressant, that it could counter the positive effects of the meds. During our conversation, Amanda said she goes out 3 or 4 times a week and gets drunk. Doctor told her that is not normal and could mean there may be an alcohol problem. Amanda got mad at me because she thinks I made doctor think she is an alcoholic. She brought up the frequency and amount, not me. I couldn't get a babysitter for tonight, so couldn't go to the diamond drawing with Amanda. The nice thing is that Amanda said she'd come home after the 10 drawing. That is nice of her to do that. Part of me is worried that she is going to call close to 10 and decide to stay longer. I still find myself apprehensive that she is going to do something behind my back. I shouldn't feel that way as she is giving me all kinds of reasons to trust her. I guess maybe those couple times last week that she kind of went overboard make it tough for me. I am doing better about not dwelling on it so much and am occupying my time with other things. I realize now that trust issues are a character defect that I have not done anything to work on. It is something that I have to pay attention to for sure. So shortly after my last entry, Amanda texted that she wanted to stay out later. She said she would trade Thursday for staying out till 12 a.m. tonight. I gave in and said yes. Why do I do that? I guess I am a sucker for giving her what she wants all the time. I don't get what I want all the time, but then again I don't ask for much or do much on my own anyway, so it just kind of sucks sitting here waiting for her to be done having her fun so that I can hang out with her. Here I am once again waiting up for Amanda. It feels like she had no intention on coming home at 10. It's 12:45 and she's still not home. Why do I put up with this? She got home, was kind of stand and spent much of her time texting with Eric. She finally came to bed, after what felt like me coercing her. She locked the door, which is how I know she wanted to have a good time, but it kind of felt like she was doing a chore. I wasn't feeling it and couldn't stay aroused. I tried a few things but we weren't clicking. I tried to give her a good time but she pulled away. I stopped, she fell asleep, and then I snuggled with her. Part of me is still apprehensive about the Eric factor. I don't mind Amanda having friends that are guys, but she talks to him every day. I feel like she has some sort of pet crush on him, trying to have a nice romantic evening with Amanda, just me and her. Of course, we find ourselves at Ducking Moonshine again. I swear she is obsessed with this place. I can't figure out why she has this need to come here all the time. What is it that she is getting out of this place that's different than any other place? I agree that it is pretty laid back, but come on. Whatever, I'm just going to grin and bear it. I hate that I feel like I have to compete with this place for Amanda's attention. I just wish she would just grow out of it. Spoke my mind and told Amanda about how I feel about her texting Eric all the time and she immediately got defensive. I just wanted her to say that it's alright and that she could choose real interaction with me instead of vicarious interaction with him. Amanda lied again about where she is and what she is doing. I can't believe I let her leave here tonight. She said she'd be home at 1 a.m. then said she was going to an after party at Brina's mom's house. She went to Eric's house. I know because after she did not reply to me I checked Latitude and saw her phone. I'm done. She lied to my face about where she really was until I confronted her and said I knew that she was at Eric's house. Then she continued to lie about Brina being with her. I called Brina and she said she wasn't with Amanda after Moonshine. I told her that what she said about being an alcoholic and not being ready to quit yet is true. I then said that I think it would be a good idea to stop drinking, if only for a week to start, as I believe she is strong enough to do that, and that I believe that is where all of this is stemming from. Then I told her that I didn't want her to go away, and she said she did not want me to go away either. I told her I love her, kissed her goodnight on her forehead, and went to bed, alone. So, I told Amanda this morning that I think she does have an alcohol problem, and that it is most likely the source of some of these other things. I explained to her that she was a different person yesterday before we went out than after. I explained that once she started drinking, her attitude changed, and her attention started to move toward Eric, the end result of which was her getting defensive when I confronted her about that when we were supposed to be hanging out. Then she ended up at his house in the hot tub with him. I told her that she needs to make a decision if she wants to be here. She needs to show me on purpose by not drinking anymore and not talking to Eric any longer. I talked with Amanda some more. She said she knows I might not believe her, but that she is sorry. I told her that I understand what she means, and that I do believe her. I also told her a lesser man would have walked already. She admitted that if she stopped drinking, things would be better. I agreed. Now just time to wait and see. I believe she can. Amanda told me she had slept with Eric. I'm numb, but my initial reaction is to love more, to show support while being sure she knew that I am very upset about it. She can no longer have any contact with Eric. She agrees, and she's very remorseful, as she should be. I'm still in a daze. It almost doesn't feel real. It still feels surreal, like I'm having a dream. You know, the kind where you try and run but can't seem to get anywhere. It's like I can see you in there. You can't hear or see me, but you wish I was there to protect you. I want to reach in and pull you out, but you are just out of reach, and I feel frantic and helpless. Am I the one that's trying too hard? Do I expect too much? I just don't know what to say or do to bring her closer to me. It hurts so bad to know that she is where she is at. She committed adultery, and still somehow, she needs her space to figure things out. I don't get it. Either you want to or you don't. Right now she doesn't. I know she is upset about what she did, but I can't tell if it really is because she hurt me and damaged our relationship, or if it's because she did something wrong and is now in trouble for it. Last night we went out together again. We watched a band play at Moonshine, then went to Liquor Pugs for a bit, then back to Moonshine. Amanda drank in moderation, and we had fun. Amanda said that she saw Eric at Liquor Pigs. I didn't even notice him. Amanda still says that she wants to be friends with Eric and wants to be able to cross paths without it being awkward. She has even refriended him on Facebook. I told her that today I am not able to be comfortable with that, as my injuries have not healed yet. I know that Amanda is where she wants to be as far as us is concerned, and wants that to get stronger again, but the Eric factor is still too new for me not to let it get in the way. I asked her to at least not have contact with him until after counseling on Monday, so she can get sound advice from a professional about the Eric being friends thing. She agreed. Last night I had another panic attack. This one lasted longer. After that I summed Amanda up and ventured to her about it and told her that she has to make a choice. She has to either pick me or Eric. She worked Eric back into her life gradually, without really asking me if that was okay. I am not able to handle him being connected to our family. I just can't do it. She was prepared to cut ties with him for her sister, so I hope she can do that for me, our family. I was going to wait until counseling on Monday because it would have been easier for me to say there, "You are a good person, father, and husband. I do love you and you're an important person in my life. It has been a long time since I've had romantic feelings for you. I'm not doing you or me any favors by giving you false hope telling you I want to make it work. I can't keep being unhappy in this relationship to avoid hurting you. I don't want to hurt you and I am remorseful that I did hurt you. I don't have any way to move out right now, so we're going to have to figure out how to live together until I can move out. You are my best friend. That is what I want. This is going to be hard for both of us, but I'm sure this is how I feel and what I want." My counselor told me it sounded like I'd made my decision a while back and just didn't know how to act on it. I love you and it's not fair to you to be with someone who isn't giving you 100% of themselves. I think we will both come out of this stronger and happier in the end. We have discovered through counseling that she has been secretly hiding away what, after a brief glimpse inside herself, is looking like a phenomenal amount of resentment toward me, herself, and her place in life. She has buried all of this emotional baggage for so long that she cannot even identify the source herself, and by her actions it seems that she is not willing to put in the effort to find resolve with herself and work toward learning to be happy here again. Her words, "This person that she has become since her parents moved, while on the surface looks strong, newly rebuilt, attractive, and free, is not the person I get to see when her guard is let down. Nobody else sees the real her, drinking to hide, in spades. So much so that I have had to put our children in the car at 3 a.m. to pick her up because she is incredibly drunk and cannot get home on her own. I have stayed up all night, trying to contact her, only to have no recourse but to call in sick to work because there is nobody but me to tend to our children. Her response is a short 'fell asleep, sorry' text message, and me again going to bring her home, to this reality that she is apparently unable or unwilling to find her way back to. Amy, all I have ever wanted was for Amanda to be happy, firstly with herself, then the rest of her life. I have systematically discovered, processed, forgiven myself, and made amends to others for the wake of destruction I created, and the resulting pain it has caused to the people around me, especially Amanda. I have been showing her with my actions that I mean what I say and that it is real. She is doing the exact opposite, stuffing, covering, avoiding, and rebelling against this thing that Shed is struggling with. She has asked me for an open marriage, because she doesn't desire me physically. She would rather seek and partake in that desire elsewhere rather than do the work required to rebuild that here together with me. Seeing how matter-of-fact she is about that is frankly unsettling, and knowing that at this point she doesn't give a crap is heartbreaking for me. She wants to retain the benefits of married life, but also the excitement and freedom of single life. I cannot accept that. This is the third time she left me, and I don't have the strength to keep playing this revolving door game with her. These days I have a hard time looking at her because I see this beautiful woman that I have been with for 12 years that I can no longer have. For the first time in as long as I can remember, I see her spending a lot of time and effort making herself beautiful, which I think is great for her. But it's not doing it to look good for me. This is the most painful thing I have ever had to endure. At this point I'm in a place where I'm more ready to move on than before. But there is enough of me that wants to stay that I don't know what to do. All I know is that this is exhausting and I don't know how to be single, so it's scary. I agree this is not a healthy marriage. As much as I want to work with her to repair, she wants to find out what she wants. The messed up thing is I'm sitting here at the bar with her now drinking Red Bull and pop. I know. I want to go and she wants to drink. So, I am taking the car and driving home. She can walk, or get a cab. At counseling on Monday, I'm going to tell her that I'm done. Either get in the damn boat and roll up your sleeves or shove off. And all that entails, file papers, find somewhere else to live, etc. Well, I'm done being a chump. Get this, we got home, I saw her phone light up, and took a look. Here's the parts I can remember. This is from tonight. Wife, what are you doing? Eric, drunk. Wife, so, I guess I'll see you later then. Besides, I got to get my special uniform from you. I'm going back out after Robin takes the sitter home. Then I started to shake, my heart started to physically hurt. I almost lost my marbles. I took the sitter home, came home and confronted her. Made her pack a bag and get out. And she did. I do know I'm getting papers tomorrow. She days this us as much her house as mine. So now I need some practical advice on what my next steps should be. I have some locks and can easily change them. Are there any legal ramifications I need to worry about? The deed is in both our name, and the kids are here. I didn't want to shoot myself in the foot by denying her access to her stuff and the kids. I would want her to have equal custody of the kids if I knew she was prepared to be responsible about it. Right now I don't feel that way, and would want to fight for custody should it come to that. The thing is that I can't see anything on my plate that would be a deal breaker and don't want to start to give her any ammo by doing anything rash. So, school me on how to win this fight without compromising my morals. Although I think it's a shame that so many marriages end up this way. That I am now just a number in that statistic. I am so grateful that there is a place like this that lost souls can come to and find strength. Be told what we need, not want, to hear. And start the journey back out of this hell that was not of our choosing. Okay, so we were supposed to go to counseling today, and she balked. She said that she didn't want the counselor to get mad at her for lying. I said that if she wanted to get anything out of counseling that she needs to be as honest about herself as she can be so the counselor has something real to work with to try to help her. I told her I am past trying to use counseling as a way to get back in, as I know she doesn't want that right now. That being said, I told her that I believe she knows the things she is doing are wrong and selfish, and she didn't want to go because that would mean that she would have to start to admit that to herself and to another person. She'd have to make it real. So, I canceled the appointment and left the house. I went to a lawyer and set up an appointment for tomorrow to start the divorce process. I hear there is a $3,000 retainer for this woman, but she is really good and has been good with other men. Then I went to confront the OM at his work, which by the way my father manages. I very simply told him, you can have her, I'm done, but be careful because you are involved in an adulterous relationship and that is immoral and illegal. Technically it's illegal in my state, but rarely if ever enforced as it is a no-fault divorce state. Then I said, you better watch yourself, and walked away with my head held high as he stared bewildered at me. I didn't know if it was the right thing to do but sure felt good. Then on the way home I stopped at the OM's parents' place of business, where he stays with them in their upstairs apartment on occasion. The one I described in my journal. I told them their son has been having an affair with my wife, and that at least on one occasion it has happened here, above their store. I felt it was something they would want to know is happening in their home business. I told them that we are getting a divorce, and that me telling them was a part of the cleansing I needed to do. When I got home, told her I confronted him, and as expected, she flipped out. I told her she's upset because I am starting to expose her fantasy, and that is making it more real. I said, you made your bed, now you have to lie in it. I told her my goal is not to be malicious. It never was or will be, but what did she expect? I have to stand up for myself, and this was one way that I am doing that. Then I asked her if she was upset because of how he might react. She said yes. I reminded her that he tried to end it more than once. For him it's a notch in his belt, but for her it's all she had left of this desire. And that was why she pursued him so persistently after multiple rejections. Then I told her if he wants to walk away, that's his decision, and she should have thought of this before she put me or him in this position. I've already walked away, and it's no skin off his back to do the same. She really didn't want to hear that because that would mean she burned all her bridges and would be faced with the prospect of being alone. Wow, and it's only 6 p.m. I did find out that it is illegal for me to change the locks on the house or deny her access until she is off the mortgage. When I see the lawyer tomorrow, I can see what options there are. So, get this, she actually asked me to help her continue with him. I figured it was just easier to copy, paste, read on her, make it right so he isn't afraid to talk to me. Make sure he knows there's no drama. Me, Amanda, I'm not a mean or cold person. You know that, right? Her, make it right. You know his number, right? Me, the last time I did that for you, Wisconsin, I stood my ground with him. Then for you I helped him feel comfortable coming back to you, because I thought that nobility would help to bring you back to me. But instead he never left. I can in good conscience be involved with enabling you to continue to do something that has hurt me so bad for so long. I know you don't like that stance, but it is something I have to do. On some level you must understand that. If you are important to him, he will listen to you, and if not, then I don't know what to say. Her, whatever. Me, besides, there is drama already. You just aren't willing to admit that. Her, of course, there's drama, but there didn't need to be more. Me, I didn't create more. That man made his own choice. I didn't make it for him. If you don't like the choice he made, maybe you should ask him why it is so easy for him to walk away like he has before. Then ask yourself why a woman like you would put up with that from anyone. Then she didn't reply. I'm going to see a lawyer in a few hours. That's also why she is couch hopping or whatever it is she's doing. I'm letting her come over here and see the kids because it's against the law for me to deny her access to her own house until the courts decree it, or I file a restraining order. The 180 is in effect. Better late than never, I guess. The balls have dropped. Since I kicked her out, she had been going along with it. I have been arguing a lot, but she keeps returning. Today I saw a lawyer about divorce. I got some things off my chest, and the lawyer agrees with me. She also said it sounds like she had a mental health issue. This is the second time I have heard this. Here is my stance today. I don't want to be malicious, but I do want to protect our children, and my stance. I want us to be able to respectably divvy up our household items without needing a mediator. This includes getting to a place where it is legal for me to change the locks, as I will then be the only one on the mortgage. I want us to be able to come to an agreement about the best interest of our children. This is their home, and I want that to stay that way. I want her to be able to have as much time with them as she wants, as I believe they need that. That being said, I would need her to prove that she can be trusted to make responsible decisions about them before I could feel comfortable with them being with her unsupervised for any length of time. This would include her being willing to take an alcohol assessment, then acting accordingly based on the outcome of that assessment. If she really doesn't have a problem as she states, then this will be a note issue for her, and seeing a pass on that assessment will allow me to better trust her judgment. I will enlist the help of an attorney if I get the impression that she doesn't want to be responsible and play fair. She is willing to let me determine the outcome. This shows me yet another reason why she has no intention of changing whatsoever. So be it, I'm out. I'm worth way more than everything in this tragic tale. Being a recovering alcoholic, people like us learn that it is not safe for us to take the notion of anger and resentment lightly, as for us it can very easily consume us to destruction if left unchecked. Some of you may understand this. That being said, I am not broken, only aware of my limits today. I'm on the same page as you, believe me. It's just that I need to get there in a way that is safe for me. I don't know how this works. I've never been here before. I have no frame of reference. I'm trying my best to get back to me. I'm starting to do the right things, I think. I'm starting to act based on my feelings and what I need instead of just reacting to hers. Small moves. I'm taking me back from her. I'm still fresh into this, being force-fed this pain, and wanting to run from it, to reclaim my sense of self. This is all so intense. I'm getting there. Here's one of many things I need to relearn. I sit here having kicked her out. She had been couch hopping since I did that on Saturday, but today she took a bunch of clothes and stuff to her sister's apartment as she is going to stay there. I displayed that I am no longer willing to settle or enable, and I stuck to it even when she tried to ask about staying. It's real, and I feel good that I stood up for myself and did that. I got my kids to bed, like I do every night. I sat down on my couch to watch some TV, like I do every night. But now I'm alone. I go to bed alone and I wake up alone. I'm still not used to that, and it is weird. Not good, not bad, just different and unfamiliar. Her sister is on board. She knows all about the situation, and she is on my side. Just before I wrote this, I was having one of those PTSD kinds of situations. You know, that overwhelming wave of sadness and despair you get from time to time. I came on here to check before bed and read the kind words above, and it cheered me up. Thanks again, guys, for the moral support. I needed that. After getting my kids to bed, my oldest, 5 years old, came down to the landing. Here was our conversation. It's one we have almost every night, but now it's different. Daddy, where's Mom? She's at work, honey. Will you send her up when she gets home? Then, after a long pause, deciding what to say, yes, I will, honey. My heart sank to the floor. Today has been a good day. The first day back to work since I booted her last Saturday. It's good for me to take my mind off of things and concentrate on work. I can feel and do some normal stuff. Today I have been focusing on me, and it is paying off. At least for today, I don't feel like I'm held hostage in a glass case of emotion. Ron Burgundy quote. Lol. She texted me last night from her sister's apartment at around 11:45 p.m. alone, saying it's lonely here. I didn't take the bait. She is not drinking, at least for the last few days. We'll see how that goes. Since I put the kibosh on the Eric thing, he won't respond to her. And I don't see an indication that she is trying to fill that void elsewhere. The big thing is I don't really care either way at this point. I know she is trying to manipulate me with that text, and that's why I didn't bite, even though part of me wanted to. I'm trying to do this 180 as best as I can today. She has been told on many occasions by her doctor and counselor that it would be a good idea to refrain from drinking while trying to figure out what she wants, needs, doesn't want, etc. She obviously didn't listen and doesn't care anyway. Oh, and now she has started smoking X again. I know because she told me she did, and that now she feels that recreational use is okay with her. Before all this, she was 100% against that idea. She also said that she would never do it in the house or around the kids. But I just found some on my kitchen floor next to the dishwasher. I have been working the 180, and the it's not just me and a more angle. I am making her fully aware that I can no longer tolerate her behavior, and if there is not some sport of progress, papers will be served, and my priority will be my and our children's well-being. I am doing much better at not trying to reason with her. It's hard, but I'm getting there. Yesterday I let go and basically bickered at her. She rebelled as I should have expected. Today I have chosen little to no contact with her, and I can tell that it is having an effect. She came to me and asked if we could talk after she's off work. I said that would be okay, but that I am very weary and my bullcrap radar is turned way up, so if she wants to broach the subject of how to get back to one with me, she will have to try very hard to prove to me that it is not a ruse. I'm going to see how that talk goes because I do still love her. And if it is possible for her to come back down off the crazy train, I would want her back. I'll let you know how it goes. If it becomes an epic fail on me, then you all have my permission to tell me you told me so. I am much stronger and have a tougher shell because of all this. But deep inside I am still a hopeless romantic. I no longer want to be part of the problem. I want to be part of the solution. She came home last night after work. We ended up not having our talk. She got cold feet. Instead, we hung out together. She brought a salad home from work, and we shared that while watching our shows. She has been making an effort to be here. It doesn't feel like she is just waiting to leave again. That being said, I am still doing my own thing. At this point it seems like we both want the same thing, but we are both a little nervous. From some of the things we have talked about too far, she says she no longer has this desire to seek intimacy, physical affair elsewhere. She has also told me she wants to work back towards us. To start, we are setting aside time for ourselves, with each other, and with the kids. We have 2 date nights a week, then we each have me time nights, and also family night for everyone. I am taking this movement very cautiously. I am still working things on the premise that I do not want to let her back into me until I can be sure it's real. I can no longer settle for jumping all in every time she cries wolf. Through all of this and the advice I get here, I am becoming more aware. I also have been able to go through a good portion of the grieving process. And I do accept that if nothing changes, I will be a single father. I don't want to just close my eyes and jump all in just because I don't want to be alone. Today I am a little more comfortable with the idea of being single. There was an email that I sent her last Friday. It started by me wanting to forward her an email about stuffing resentments about your spouse. She had said and learned in counseling that she has never actually forgiven me for the way I was before I got sober. We have learned that that has a big influence on why she feels like it's her turn, because in a way I held her hostage during my drinking days. Those of you in recovery or are with someone in recovery will understand that this dynamic exists, and if not tended to can have negative repercussions. She has never gone to AA to share with others that are in her position, and she has never taken it upon herself to learn more about my disease, recovery, and how it affects our relationship. So, for the last 4 years I have been treating my disease, but she has not been doing the maintenance that could help her understand, forgive, and grow. Today we are both aware that that is a big part of why this is happening. We both also know that it is not an excuse, but a possible source. More importantly, that her recent actions are no less improper because of it. The things that she has been doing are not acceptable regardless of why she does them. She also knows this. The thing is that knowing they exist and having the courage to start doing something about them are two completely different animals. Last night was going to be the first of what will be a long journey back to one. I believe she can start to open up, and it will only happen if she wants to do it. Progress, not perfection, as they say. In short, I want to continue to 180, and I am aware that firmer behavior on my part will be more effective. Again, progress, not perfection. Almost forgot. When she gets off work, I'm going out and about with my brother to shoot some pool and socialize. It's my turn for some me time. I told her I don't know what time I'll be home. My comment. Part 3, the final ending coming today as well. Enjoy the story, sub and bell, and I'm going back on finishing the final ending.